Do you dream about being
named after a road?
Season 1 of Doctor Who, more widely known as Series 14, has come to a conclusion, and after 8 episodes, it feels incredibly weird that a season of the Whoniverse has come and gone so fast. This obviously never used to be the case, as we've gone from seasons of 13 episodes down to 12 to 10, and finally we had Flux, which gave us a 6-part series. For my very first video essay, I'm going to be looking back at Russell T Davies's first era as showrunner and imagining what it would have been like if it had been made today, condensing down 13 stories a season to 8. So let's get right into the video. Obviously, you've got to keep Rose. It reintroduces the whole show. It offers the most blankest of canvases to sort of begin this new era of Doctor Who, and I just think it's a really strong opener. Following on, we have the end of the world. I think it's crucial not just for the development of Rose, but it will make sense later. The episode is set on Satellite 5, which predominantly features in the first season of Doctor Who. It is the setting for the finale. I think it's just a really cool location, and it's obviously Rose's first trip to space. This will make sense further along in the rankings because this is the only space episode outside of the finale I've picked. Next up, I have decided to cut the Charles Dickens centric The Unquiet Dead, purely because there are far better episodes in this season. And then the next 2 episodes, the Slitheen, I have decided to chop as well. No hate, of course, to the aliens from Raxico Falapatorius, but their time is not now, unfortunately. Next up, we have Dalek. I think it is a wonderful episode, a great character study into one of the Doctor's most formidable enemies, and obviously that leads into their return in the finale. After Dalek, we'd have Father's Day. Again, some more development for Rose. Gives us some important Tyler family lore, as well as giving us the Reapers, a very, very interesting villain. The second half of Season 1, the final 4, would consist of back-to-back 2-part episodes, with Boomtown being the only episode omitted from the original final 5 episodes. We'd take a trip to World War II London for The Empty Child and the Doctor dances, soon followed by Bad Wolf Parting of the Ways. I'd say this is a very strong first season. Obviously, you've got space, plenty of aliens, monsters, and some really deserved character development for Rose. Next up, we have David Tennant stepping into the role as the Doctor after regenerating from Christopher Eccleston's 9th Doctor. Now, the next statement could be quite controversial, I must admit. I have decided to cut the first 2 episodes. Of the first 3, School Reunion just works as an opener. I'm a very fond fan of Tooth and Claw, but for me, I think there are so many strong episodes in Series 2 that the middle ground that aren't necessarily the weakest or the strongest, they are very, very close in quality. If I had it my way, it would be a 9-episode season with Tooth and Claw opening, followed by School Reunion. However, unfortunately, we have cut the first 2, and School Reunion with Sarah Jane Smith would essentially be our opener. Shortly after that, we'd have Girl in the Fireplace, yet another Moffat-written script. The Cybermen are essential. They appear in the finale, so Rise of Cybermen, Age of Steel is there. They would be episodes 3 and 4, shortly followed by The Impossible Planet and The Satan Pit, leading into the finale. After the second half of Series 2, an episode is either really good or really bad. Beginning with The Idiot's Lantern, I think The Wire is an interesting villain, but it doesn't have the makings of a great story, unfortunately. It's a period piece. Everyone's dolled up. I think for 2006, the production quality is there. I just don't think the actual enjoyment of the story is, sadly. Then we have Love and Monsters. I will defend this episode to the grave. It is camp. It is cheesy. It's got ELO. It's got Peter Kay. Everything I love. But again, it does not make the cut. And then we have the formidable Chloe Webber in Fear Her. Absolute garbage. Get rid of it. Bin it. Everything.
Obviously, I think it's important to note that any series of Doctor Who would be incomplete without a finale, and the series 2 finales are incredible. From the incorporation of everything leading up to the moment with Pete's World, the Cybermen returning, obviously, and the return of the Daleks, the Cult of Scar, I think everything comes together in such an incredible way that signifies some of Russell T Davies's best storytelling when he is able to plant seeds and wove them through a full series worth of content and come to such a climatic ending, which is a shame given how things turned out towards the end of season 1 of Doctor Who. I think the farewell between Tin and Rose is exceptional, incredibly emotive, moving, and it's probably one of my favourite Doctor Who finales because of it. So, yes, that would be my season 2.
After a heartbreaking finale with Rose Tyler stranded on a parallel Earth, Martha Jones would join the TARDIS. And of course, the first episode of Series 3, my new Series 3, would be Smith and Jones. We would have the Shakespeare Code. I quite enjoy this one. I don't think it's one of the best episodes of the series, but it sure is interesting. We would skip a total of 5 episodes. We would cut out Gridlock, the Dalek two-parter, the Lazarus Experiment, and 42. I'd much rather prioritise the strongest run of episodes ever in a Doctor Who series, beginning with Human Nature and the Family of Blood. Just an unbelievably good two-parter. I think David Tennant really, really shows off his acting chops to a bloody good level. Then we have Blink. I don't think Blink was ever getting cut. Arguably one of, if not the best episode of Doctor Who. And then we would have the 3-part finale beginning with Utopia. The only thing missing really is the face of Bo's warning to the Doctor that saying he's not alone. Obviously you'd fit that in somewhere else. You could have the Carrier Knights telling the Doctor at the end of the Shakespeare Code, or the Jadoon. We would obviously have The Sound of Drums and The Last of the Time Lords concluding Series 3. Really good two-parter. What a way to end a series. John Sim is incredibly iconic as the Master. John Sim's portrayal is my favourite of the characters, as much as I love Michelle Gomez as Missy. And yeah, that would close out Series 3. When you get to Series 4, it's a very similar case as to what happens with Series 3. There is a huge amount of strong stories in the second half, and then the first half is enjoyable, but it's sort of in the middling ground. And because of that, the final 6 episodes again make the cut. So I had the difficult choice of picking 2 stories from the first 7 episodes. I've stuck with the series opener again, Partners in Crime. It does a wonderful job of reintroducing Martha. We get the adipose. It's just the weirdest episode ever. And obviously we've got Baby Reindeer shows up in Partners in Crime briefly. Soon after, we have the fires of Pompeii. The reason I chose this was I just think it's the best out of the remaining bunch. We have then chopped off the next 4 or 5 episodes. That leaves us with the Vashta Narada two-parter, which introduces fans to River Song and The World Was Never the Same. We have Midnight. Again, probably one of the best, if not the best, episodes from Russell T Davies's run. Then we have Turn Left. Brilliant episode. And then The Stolen Earth Journey's End, which would see the end of David Tennant's Doctor, outside of the specials, obviously. Thank you very much for watching this very first video essay. I am excited to experiment with all my interests, whether it be film, TV, or gaming. Just discussing all the things I'm passionate about in a new medium. Please support this venture. Like, subscribe, comment which season you would change the most, which episodes you'd remove from a particular one. If you like this sort of content, please do let me know as well, as I would like to revisit Moffat's era potentially in a very similar video in the future. So yes, thank you very much, and I'll see you for the next video.